Hey there, fellow classic comic collectors. As always, I'm Scott Harris King, and today we have a big one because look what I've got. It's a box of comics from CGC, so we're finally going to get the results of my CGC experiment, which I started almost a year ago. So for those of you who may not remember, I had done a video last year basically talking about all the problems CGC's been having. Massive quality control issues, huge delays, books getting damaged, blah blah blah, and how I was not going to use CGC anymore. Then a little while after that, I thought, you know what? Why don't we run an experiment? I'm going to send some books to CGC and see for myself just how bad it is, or if maybe I'll get lucky and it'll be fine. I also wanted to test a couple other things about the process. I've never had them actually press anything at CCS, their in-house pressing service. And I've been doing my trading challenge, and part of the trading challenge rules were that if I wanted to, I'm not allowed to put any money into it other than dollar books and shipping, with the exception of if I wanted to get something CGC'd, I could. Now, I haven't had any books that are big enough where I need to get them CGC'd, but I could see it coming down the road, and I wanted to get an idea of how that was going to work for the trading challenge, like how long are the books going to be out of the pool, etc., etc. So, what I did was I took 6 books out of my trading challenge pool, not the pool itself, but the kitty, the books that were waiting to get in the trading pool, and they were all the same book. 6 copies of Starslayer #2, the first appearance of Rocketeer, and I sent them all down to CGC to see what would happen. And so far, the experiment has been a total failure. Now, I haven't even opened the box yet, which I'm going to do in a second. But when I sent those books in, the market was at its peak, but also Starslayer was really hot because it was talk about there's a new movie coming out and a bunch of stuff. So when I sent these in last December, they were going for about twice as much as they are now. So the incredible delay. I sent them in right at the end of December, and I'm recording this on the 14th of October. By the time you see it, it'll be a little bit later. So we've basically taken 10 months to get 6 modern books that were sent in. I didn't pay to have them rushed because I really don't think you should have to do that. And I wanted to see how long the process would take. And it's taken so long that these books have lost half of their value. And that means that if I were to think about sending them now, that financially it wouldn't make any sense to have them graded. So on the basic, that first level, it's already been a complete failure because no matter what these grades are, I'm going to struggle to get my grading value back. But we have a lot of other things to learn, and I have not looked at the grades of these online. I don't know what they are. I'll say, just again to refresh your memory before I pop open this box, that when I looked over them, I had 15 copies, and I took the 6 that were the nicest, that I thought had a chance for high grade. I did not think any of them were 9.8s because some of them had slightly rounded or blunted corners, particularly at the top. And so I thought a 9.6 was possible for some of them. To me, all the copies I sent in were between a 9.0 and a 9.6. Now, that's before pressing and before any damage that might have occurred. So that's what we're hoping for. We're hoping to get at least 2 9.6s out of the 6 books. If I get that, I'll be very happy. If I get anything above that, I'll be super happy. If I get anything below a 9, there's something wrong because they were 9s before being pressed. So I'm gonna pause the video so you don't have to watch me struggle with this box. I'm gonna open the box, and then I'm gonna reveal them one at a time, and we're gonna learn together what the grades are. All right, I've got it open. I'm gonna pull the first one out. I can see that this bag has an invoice in it, so hopefully that won't block the view of this grade, but let's do it. Okay, I haven't looked. I'm pulling it out of the bag. Pulling the invoice off. First copy. Wow. I was not expecting that. Okay, I'm a happy man. I'm very happy. I was not expecting that at all. See, this is why people send things to CGC, is even with all the messes, because they get, it's like, it's basically the same rush as gambling, because that's what you're doing. You have no idea what the grades are going to be. You put an educated bet down, and you hope that you get something good, but that's all it is just a guess. Here's the second copy. Okay, haven't looked. 9.6. Okay. Third copy. We'll start there. All right, third copy. Here we go. 9.4. I wonder if they put them in here in the order of the grades. Like when I get to the end, there's gonna be like a 2.5. Fourth copy. All right, here we are. 9.8. Wow. Okay, so already I've done way better than I expected to do. I honestly did not think any of these were 9.8s. I thought 9.6 was the best I was going to do, and I was hoping to get 2 9.6s, but I would have been happy with 1 9.6. So 2 9.8s is crazy. Was not expecting that. Okay, fifth one, 9.2. Well, again, I thought they were all going to be between 9.0 and 9.6, so a 9.2 is actually right on track with my expectations. And, okay, last copy. I knew there was one more in here. Here we go. 9.6. So, I thought I was going to get like 1 9.6 and like 3 9.4s and maybe a couple 9.2s. Instead, what I got was actually 2 9.8s, 2 9.6s, a 9.4, and a 9.2. So now I haven't obviously, since I just opened them, I haven't looked at them in terms of other things with quality control. So like things like Newton rings, I've seen a lot of stuff with like fragments in the cases, various things like that. And I haven't also checked the grader's notes. So what I'll do is after I've finished recording this, I will check the grader's notes on these, and I'll put them in the description below so you can see what the notes were. Because I'm very curious. To me, it's very arbitrary. The difference between a 9.2 and a 9.6 you can usually see, but it's very minor. But some of these, like the difference between a 9.4 and a 9.6 or 9.6 and 9.8, to me, it's completely arbitrary. And so I'd like to see if they have notes explaining the decisions, like what it was that caused them to give them this grade. Like this 9.4 to me looks like I can see the blunted corner, but it doesn't look any worse than the 9.6 with the blunted corner. So I don't know. Like, so this 9.8, it's interesting. It's miscut. I hadn't noticed that before. But if you look at how the logo lines up with the top edge, you can see that it's slightly crooked. So next question, what am I going to do with these? Great question I just asked myself. I am a fan of Rocketeer. I'm definitely keeping one of these for myself. I'll have to decide whether it's going to be a 9.8 or 9.6. I'm also going to sell at least one of these to try and get my money back from the grading. Now, I mentioned these are part of the dollar bin trading challenge. I paid 30 cents each for the books. So the comics themselves were 30 cents. The grading and the shipping and all that came out to be something around $250. So I'm going to need to sell one of the 9.8s to get my money back, or a couple, like like a 9, like I would need to sell like the 9.6 and the 9.4 and maybe even the 9.2 to get my money back if I wanted to keep both of the 9.8s. But we're going to be looking at that. I do want my money back. Money's tight these days. So I will probably sell at least one and maybe two of these. Keep one for myself, and the other ones will be appearing in future dollar bin trading challenges whenever I'm able to get back to that, which hopefully will be sooner rather than later. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stop recording. I am going to check out the grader's notes. I'd love to know why this 9.2 is a 9.2, because to me it looks exactly the same as the other books. I don't know what it is they're looking at where they decided this one was a 9.2. So I would love to find out the answer to that. But in the meantime, so in terms of rolling the dice and playing the lottery, I won. Big win. I just still don't understand why. So that's the big mystery with these. So there's the end of my CGC experiment. Now that it went well for me, other than the incredible time, like if I had gotten these books back in this grade, say in March, I would be able to make a lot more money then than I can now. But other than that, this has gone really well. Does that mean I'm going to start using the CGC again and send in a bunch of stuff? No. Again, if I get something from the trading challenge, when I start to get books that are like over 1,000 and some of the bigger key books, when I get to that point, I'm going to start wanting to do CGC in order, since I'm doing all of these transactions online. But I'm not quite at that point yet, so it'll probably be another year or two before I do this again. And knowing that it's going to take, that the book's going to be gone for a year, which will significantly either up or down affect the value of the book. I don't know. It's still something that I'm not planning on doing very much. I still think CGC is a crapshoot, and you could easily get your books damaged or lost or stolen in the process and whatever. So don't want to do that. When I say stolen, I'm talking about in the mail. But in terms of this, big win, was not expecting it, so it is exciting. So I got the adrenaline rush from the unexpected spin of the roulette wheel, and I'm excited. Now I just got to figure out what to do with them. So thanks very much for watching. I'll see you next time.